Isiah Pacheco, running back 52 through 2 weeks. I'll let you take the lead on this one, Dalton.
I wrote 9. I would write 10, but just like him, I can't get to double digits. My notes here say this offense stinks, and then 5 wide, which what I think I meant was the Chiefs would be better served going 5 wide with their current wide receiver core than putting a running back on the field.
I disagree. They need to be lined up under center.
But like, because you and I are so plugged in with Chiefs discourse, like the fans are begging for Smith to get some reps just because of how bad the running back room has been.
Well, and Dan Graziano from ESPN did kind of hint that, we may see it sometime soon. And if he does earn the team's trust doing some of the other things at running back, like some of the dirty work things, he's got a different skill set than the two guys. And I mean, we've seen it. They clearly need somebody who has any kind of burst.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Pacheco was supposed to be different than Kareem Hunt, and he's just kind of worse in every way.
The thing is, Pacheco has burst. He has no vision, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's not finding the holes effectively. He's not giving us burst from the backfield. He's been a pretty bad pass blocker. I went and pulled it from PFF. He's PFF's 48th graded pass blocking running back, which is pretty hard to get to, especially behind an offensive line that's been pretty good for Kansas City. So he's not being asked to do a ton. And he's doing the Kareem Hunt role, which is like get 5 yards when you can, but he's not even doing that as effectively as Kareem Hunt. Like, as a Chiefs fan, I just don't want to see him on the field.
Yeah.
And as a fantasy owner, I just don't think you're going to get much out of him. The Chiefs don't want to run the ball, especially with Pacheco right now. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. And they're going to want to start passing once these wide receivers start returning between Royals, Worthy, and then in 4 weeks, Rice.
Yeah. Have the Rashee Rice countdown actually above my computer. By the second, when he'll come back. I have it at 10, and I mean, kind of like Mark Andrews, like it might just be over for Pacheco as a starting running back in the NFL. We'll see. The only thing, and I mean the only thing that gives me just the slightest glimmer of hope, maybe he's not fully back from the injury yet. And I don't mean physically. Like physically he should be. It's been a year. Maybe he just from a feel perspective. I mean, he's not hitting these holes. He's never been the guy with the best vision, but I feel like it's worse now than it's really ever been. Maybe he just doesn't have his rhythm. And once he finds that, because he looks explosive, like he looks like old Pacheco, in that regard. He's never been the most explosive, but just pre-injury Pacheco. But the thing is, he's not a short yardage guy. That's Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt picks up the short yardage stuff unless we run a T formation, which I was listening to that on the radio driving home, as you know. Mitch Holthus said that the Chiefs were coming out in a T formation. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that's interesting. That's the formation in college football. When I run it, it never works, but it looks cool. And then they got stuffed on fourth down. So it goes. Kareem Hunt also way more trusted on third down, I think, for the pass blocking reasons that you mentioned with Pacheco. The Chiefs have also tried one running back screen this year, went right through Pacheco's hands. So just like not a lot of reason for him to be out there for anything other than a first or second down handoff. And he's not doing that effectively. And you said 5 wide. I mean, the Chiefs running out of the shotgun, I think it's a very similar thing to what we've talked about with the Bengals as to why the Bengals rushing game has struggled a lot. The Chiefs offensive line, for the most part, is getting a perfectly fine push on the ground. You know, there are plays, obviously, where there's one breakdown where it's like, oh, that could have been a 12-yard gain instead of a 4-yard gain if this guy gets the second level and does this. But like by and large, the blocking has been fine. The thing about running out of the shotgun, though, unless you have a threat of the RPO, which, given it's basically Hollywood Brown and that's it, there's not really much of one in that regard right now. And Mahomes, for as much as he's running, it's all quarterback scrambles. It's not keep the read option. So there's no threat of the quarterback really keeping. So the defense just doesn't have to worry about that. They can overload. And the numbers game becomes harder in the running game in that way. So like that's just a lot of obstacles for a guy who just also is not playing well. And like Kareem Hunt, by every measure, has been a better running back. And like I want to see Rashard Smith, because like, what's the worst that's going to happen? He's not going to see the hole. Like, come on.
Yeah, but it can't get worse.
Like, this week is kind of make or break for Pacheco in my mind. If you don't see anything this week, he is droppable, in my opinion.
And it's the Giants, so you know
Yeah.
the Chiefs are going to win on a last-second field goal.